What's going on, everybody? It is Saturday. It is 9:33 a.m. and I got an offer from DoorDash to go to Walgreens. I'm going to be shopping for 5 items, 7 units. I'm going to get $11 for 4.6 miles. Well, today is day number 8 of my 16-hour fasting, 16-8 fasting diet. And so far so good. I didn't cheat or eat any snacks or anything like that. Just about 3 more days to go until I weigh myself. I always weigh myself on Tuesday mornings. And yeah, I felt a little bit hungry when I woke up this morning at about 3 a.m. But I did not have anything but my usual green tea to drink, which doesn't spike any insulin levels and has no calories. So that's one of the things that's allowed, is either black coffee or green tea. And I can't stomach black coffee, so green tea is the thing I usually turn to before I end the fast. And I had my breakfast probably at about 8:30, and I started it off with some bone broth and then segued into the main meal, and I couldn't finish it. It was a lot. It was tofu that I stir-fried in avocado oil, and I added egg whites to it. I chopped up a half of an avocado, and then I topped all of that with some sauerkraut. And I got the probiotic sauerkraut that's in the refrigerated section. Since I read that the one they sell in the aisles on the shelf is pasteurized and it kills the probiotics, so I decided, okay, I need to find the sauerkraut that has the probiotics, and I was able to track that down. And so I had that, and then I had some Greek yogurt and some sliced apple, and then of course my cup of coffee with milk, a teaspoon of sugar, and some cinnamon. And I could not finish everything. I think what I had left over was about 25% of the main meal. I had left over. I couldn't finish. I was too full. And then I had some apple that was left over. I'm gonna probably save that for lunch. Well, we're pulling in here to Walgreens, and this is our infamous Walgreens where the internet doesn't work. The customer just added another item too. So now there are a total of 6 items. Alright, wish me luck. Let's hope the internet is working today. Good morning. Alright, I was able to get everything. I got some fries, specials. These are ice creams. This was locked up. Primatine Mist, some Mike Ike's, and a couple of Cokes. Let's go check out. Ensure the receipt is in the bag. It's in the bag. Continue. It's not continuing. The app is frozen, of course. Of course the app is frozen. Why would it be anything else but frozen? Alright, it's going again. Let me hit the directions. 6 minutes, 2 miles. We're going to a house. Leave at the door. Dogs bark a lot. Don't ring the doorbell. so far everything is going smooth, no problems. So far so good. Fingers crossed everything keeps going smooth and we don't have any problems. It's Saturday. I want an easy day. And so the internet was working fine inside of Walgreens. I didn't have any problems. They must have done something to improve their internet connection in there, which I'm very happy about. The only problem I had was whenever I clicked on or tapped on the thumbnail to see the item by itself on the screen, no picture would appear in the app. So I had to just go back and see the main shopping list and then just kind of squint at the tiny little thumbnails to figure out if I had the right one. But once I went into the mode where I needed to scan the item, it scanned through just fine. So I'm not exactly sure why that is, except maybe they have to throttle the internet there because there's such a small amount of bandwidth available. So anything that's image related, the internet doesn't work for that. It only works for like the most smallest of files. That's my best guess as to what was going on. And I thought that the Twix bars that they wanted at first were candy bars. And I was looking for these Twix bars. I'm like, they don't have them. And then I finally saw in the app, it said ice cream bars. And I was like, oh, duh. And the Primatine Mist was locked up, so I had to press the little button in the aisle with the Primatine Mist and wait for somebody to show up. And a guy showed up real fast, so I didn't have to wait that long. And there was no real line to check out, so I was able to get in and out pretty quick. So it was a pretty easy shopping experience. There weren't really any major problems. And I think that was it for the shopping challenge part of the day for that order. And the drop-off should be pretty easy. There's not going to be any gates or anything like that. And since it's just a leave at the door, let's see. You can just leave at door, please and thank you. Dog barks a lot. Yeah, so there's no other special instructions I need to do other than just leave it at the front door. So this should be pretty easy. So I didn't finish my food this morning. I just had a little bit left. I put it in a Tupperware and I'll eat it later for lunch. I think that's where I left off at, what I was telling you guys. And I don't even know if I'm going to eat lunch. Lately, I've been eating breakfast to the point where I'm so full. I feel like I'm having a Thanksgiving dinner. I'm so full. But because what I'm eating is so low carb, I'm not getting any kind of sugar crashes. I don't feel any type of strange way after I eat it other than that sensation of being extremely full. But not a heavy full, just a sort of like the contents of my stomach are maxed out and nothing else can go in. But I don't feel like gross, like I'm so sleepy or anything like that. So it's a plus, and so I'm just gonna keep doing the routine. For dinner tonight, I don't know what I'm gonna have, but I'm sure it's gonna still be something healthy. And we're coming up closer now here to the drop-off, and I'm coming into the neighborhood. And yeah, so far I don't think this is going to be a difficult one. I think this is going to be pretty simple. The weather's supposed to be in the low 70s, so it's supposed to be nice. And sunny and clear, no wind. Just a really nice day, so it should be an easy one. I don't have any specific goal on the amount of money I need to make today. My general plan is to work until about 12 o'clock at the most and then turn it off. So it's already 10 o'clock now, or almost 10 o'clock. So I really only got about 2 hours left, and then my day's over. I'm going to be making a right coming up. What's the address? Okay, look for the address. I think it's this one here. Yep, this one here. Alright, Walgreens order. Let's drop you off. Oh, that was easy. Take a photo of yourself. Oh, they always do this at the most inopportune times. Take my picture. Check mark. Thanks for verifying. Right, that was easy. Now it's gonna head back towards home. At least the traffic's light. That's something. Where am I? I'm turned around. Is this the way I came? This is the bad part about doing this. I don't come into this part of this neighborhood that often. So now I'm turned around. I bet you I'm passing where I'm supposed to go to get the heck out of here. I'd be willing to bet. None of this looks familiar now, so I'm pretty sure. Oh no, there it is. It's coming up. Man, I was getting turned around. $8.94, 10 miles. No. Okay, well that was a good first start to the day. A nice easy one. $6.71, 7 miles. I don't know if it's closer to make a right or a left. They look about the same. I'll go to the left. $8.04, 17 miles. The nice thing about this diet that I'm on is that it really hasn't been anything that difficult in doing it. 1648 for 19 miles. It really has been easy. I haven't really been that challenged in terms of being tempted to have anything sweet like a cookie or a cake or ice cream. I think what is helping me is the hot chocolate that I've been having whenever I crave something sweet. I'll take a teaspoon of the cocoa, and then I will put just one tablespoon or 1 teaspoon of the cacao, which is there's nothing bad in it. It's just cocoa powder, and then I'm adding 1 teaspoon of sugar and then water, and then I add cinnamon, and then I add about half a cup of milk to it, and that's it. And that is almost like a dessert in itself. I mean, it's not a rich and delicious chocolatey drink, of course, but it has enough of a chocolate sweetness that takes away the craving. And at first when I drank it, it just tasted like water, like brown looking water. But because I'm trying to keep my diet so clean, my taste buds are starting to become more sensitized to sweetness and flavors. So my taste buds can now more easily pick up the chocolatiness of the drink, which is awesome, because that means I'm actually going to be able to eat more blander forms of food without it feeling like I'm punishing myself. I can actually taste the herbs and the spices. I've been adding Italian seasoning to my main dishes and no salt. And the flavor of the Italian seasoning is really coming out. $12.25, 10 miles. No. Decline. $7, 11 miles. No. And there's been a steady stream of job offers coming in, but nothing good. When I was at home for the first hour, there was hardly anything coming in because it's Saturday. I was reading a news article that a lot of hospitality workers, female hospitality workers, are being laid off, and they're showing up at the strip clubs in Las Vegas here near the strip applying for work because work is so hard to come by right now, I guess, in the hospitality area. $4, 6 miles. That they can't find work and they need money, so they're trying to either get hostess work inside the strip clubs or actually do the actual stripping. And I immediately thought to myself, well, why don't they just start an OnlyFans? But that kind of tells me that even that might be saturated. $6.76. Oh, thanks. My minimum is $8. 7 for 5. No. So that tells me that things are starting to take a turn. I also read an article that the real estate market is doing terrible here, that houses are not selling. 592.11. They said that there are more houses for sale than there are buyers. So it's right now, we are officially in a buyer's market right now. And so that means that, of course, the people that own the houses are going to have to be more flexible with the price on the house and the terms that they want to sell the house. So I think this is the beginning of the turn in property values. $3.88, 7 miles. And I don't know how far down the prices for houses are going to go, but it definitely looks like it's pointing downward for now. $4.25, 3 miles. $8, 7 miles. I mean, for so long since the pandemic, it's been a seller's market. So it's been a long time, right? That's been since 2020. $10, 6 miles, 2 different places to go. No thanks. I guess it would be long enough time. What is this now? 5 years. It's been 5 years now that it's been a seller's market. So it would make sense that about now would be the time for things to change. But who knows how far down the prices are going to go. I'm sure everybody out there who's looking for a house is hoping it goes back to like around the year 2007 when the prices were down 30%, 40% from their highs. And that would give people more of an opportunity to get in and get a house. But I don't know what's going to happen to these other people. You know, the ones who own these houses, hopefully their mortgages are not too high. Otherwise, they're going to be upside down and they're going to end up in foreclosure. I know a lot of people were buying during the pandemic, and that was at the high. You know, they were giving everybody the opportunity to work from home. I got the next offer from DoorDash. We're going to go to Sprouts and shop for one item, 20 units. I'm going to be getting $10.50 for 4.7 miles. Oh, I can't wait to find out what they ordered. It can't be good. Let's see. Oh no, it's water. I'm not doing that. Unassigned. Got the next offer from DoorDash. I'm going to be going to Target and shopping for 9 items, 12 units. I'm going to get $14 for 5.1 miles. Not too bad. That last one that came in, boy, am I glad I rejected that one. That would have been a nightmare. 17 gallons of water they actually wanted me to go get at Sprouts and deliver. That is way too many gallons of water to be lifting. And so once I saw that, there was no way I was gonna. I'd even look to see what my completion rate is or my cancellation rate. I didn't care. I'm pretty sure it's good. I rarely cancel. And usually when I get an offer like that, it's from Uber, and it shows at the bottom, it'll say heavy, and I'll decline it. So and when it comes to DoorDash, usually, or it's very rare that I get a shopping order that has a lot of heavy items. I don't know why, but it's very rare. Usually it's just one case of water, and that's about it. 2 at the most, but not that many gallons of water, not 17 gallons. That is ridiculous. And so, yeah, so that's gone. So goodbye to that. And I don't know how busy this particular Target's going to be, but in general, I prefer going to this Target versus the other one I go to, where they have it's a much smaller store. So the checkout line at the other Target the line's usually much longer. And of course, because it's smaller, it gets more crowded, and you're usually playing bumper carts with the people when you're in that particular Target. So this one usually is not too bad. And then the shopping, it shouldn't be too difficult, as long as the items are mostly grocery items and they're not, items that are all over the store. I think the worst thing I can shop for, and I don't want to jinx myself, the worst thing I could shop for would be clothes. Clothes or baby toys or just kids' toys in general. They never have the toy the customer wants. And the clothes, they never have the specific outfit that the customer wants. Or the type of pants or shirt. I don't know why that is. It's like, why doesn't their app say it's out of stock? I don't understand. You think with all the technology today, it would be always up to date and would know whether or not an item is available. Oh boy, should I make a left here? Or should I go straight ahead? I think I'll go straight ahead. I don't think I'll make that light. This offer came in real fast. I swear it wasn't even 5 minutes that I was waiting from that canceled water order that this one came in. So right now it seems like it's pretty busy. Oh, this was the right call. I'm officially in the shopping mall. Whew. I like it when I get like a long break between assignments. As soon as I got back home, I was like, well, I'm just going to take my shoes off, turn the TV on, I'll watch some TV for a while, and wait for another offer to come in, and boom, this offer came in right away. Alright, exit, arrived at store, start the shopping. Okay, oh, didn't ask me for an introduction. That's a surprise. I'll just park here. Alright, let's go get all this stuff. So far this has been a bust. Everything's far apart from each other. And I'm waiting on substitutes still. Well, good news, they approved the vitamin C as a substitute. So there's really only one item that needs to be substituted that I don't think they have. Now I've got to go all the way back to the other side of the store. Oh boy. I've been there a long time. Definitely not an easy shopping experience. I mean, it was only supposed to be 9 items, but it felt like 15 items. And these darn air filters, they were so far away from everything else. Let's go. Going 8 minutes, 3 miles. We're going to be going to a house. It's going to be a leave at the door. Man, they were kicking my ass. I don't know what was it about this one that made it. It all started with the very first item that I had to shop for, which was the chewable vitamins. They didn't have the size they wanted. They only had a bunch of gummy ones and then the regular ones. Chewable tablets, they didn't have, except for one bottle. They had one bottle left, 150 count. And I took that one and put it in the cart because I figured this is the one they're going to want. Since the other ones, there's nothing else available. And I took a picture of it and I sent it to the customer and waited for them to submit it as an approved substitution. Sure enough, they did at the very end. So that was great news. And oh my gosh, why is the app having me go this way? So I then had to get some soup. These little bowls of soup. They're like those top ramen bowls. They didn't have any. None were available. So that was another thing that I had to wait on for them to. They had not pre-selected any substitutes. So I had to wait every single time for them to realize a certain item wasn't in stock. I wish the app wouldn't have sent me this way. There was another way to go where there's like no traffic to get where I need to get to. My fault for not paying attention to the app. This road is super busy all the time. And I generally never come out this way, but I thought when it told me to go this way, I was going to have to make a quick left, which I did not. Whew, boy. Man, oh man. This job. It's always something. They only wanted 1 bottle of water, 1 gallon, so that was good. 1 case of Diet Coke. They wanted some fresh pet refrigerated dog food. They didn't have the one they wanted, so I had to wait for them to approve another substitute. So that makes, I think, 3 items out of the 10 that I had to wait for a substitute. And the most difficult item and time consuming was the air conditioner filters. They were on the complete opposite side of the store. And that is a long journey to get over to them. And then I had to come all the way back to the complete opposite end again to pick up body wash. And the body wash was mislabeled for the aisle. It said it was like B27. And it wasn't, it was A27. So the app was wrong for the location, and it caused me to have, well, no, it didn't really have to cause me to go back, because I had to go back anyway to get the substitute for those top ramen bowls. So there was no way to avoid that. And the checkout was fine. Everything went through. There was no waiting to self-checkout. Everything else was fine. There was no other problems. I guess I have no gripes about this one other than the substitutes and the person not pre-selecting substitutes other than that. And I generally like to only select orders that have less than 10 items, because I know there's always a chance they're going to add 1 or 2 more items to the list. So I So that's why I usually like it to be 9 or less for shopping, because I know it's going to end up being 10 or 11. Well, I think that was it. It was crowded in there. There were lots of people, but because it's a bigger Target, it was easier to navigate. I had a couple of run-ins. I had one man that was walking head on towards me, and then when I looked down at my phone, when I looked up, he was curving to the left, and then I was, or to his right, and I was curving to my left, trying to avoid him as I was looking down at my phone. So we almost turned in the same direction and almost crashed into each other. And then there was one little girl having a party in there like it's a playground, and she almost ran into me. I think that was about it. Other than that, it was fine. You know, it's the usual things that happen when you're shopping. The only difference is, you know, I'm shopping over and over again, multiple places. So it's like Groundhog Day. Every time I get an assignment, I've got to deal with that challenge. Whereas if I was just shopping for myself, I'd just be going to one store and going home. I gotta keep my eye out to see if I see more home for sale signs when I go into this neighborhood. I'm really curious. I've looked on Zillow and it does show a lot of houses, but I'll know it's really bad when I see rows and rows of houses that have the for sale signs just flapping in the breeze. Then I'll be like, uh-oh, it's happening. We're going into a recession. That's always a sign. And I heard that Florida and I think Texas and Las Vegas are at the top of the list for problems in real estate, where property values are going down. Okay, we're gonna be making it here into the neighborhood, and let's see if I notice anything. No, I don't see any for sale signs in here. The only thing I notice is that they have the shortest driveways I've ever seen. The cars can't even fit in their driveways. They stick out. Even these little tiny compact cars can't fit in their own driveway. That's pretty sad. I guess the driveway is not meant for you to park in, but you know, a lot of people have 2 to 3, sometimes 4 vehicles. So they have no choice. There's no other place for them to park near their house other than the driveway. But I'm sure these people stress out that someone's gonna sideswipe their car in the middle of the night, because the road is really narrow too. Wow, this really took me on a weird way to get over here. Okay, I'm going to be making one more right, and then it should be on the right-hand side. What's the address? Okay. This is it right here. We have arrived. I'm going to have to make multiple trips. Let's see. Take this. This is about all I can grab. See if I can grab all the bags in one hand. And then the water, and I think that's everything. All right. We did it. Another one done. I'm like, why did the app take me this way? Wasn't there a better way for me to go? I mean, this is paradise, so I should be able to go all the way up Paradise and make a right. That was a very strange way for the app to send me. Let me turn on UberEats. Making pretty decent money, I think. Or maybe I'm somewhere else, that's why. Maybe I'm in a different area than what I think, but this looks familiar to me, this area. I think the next street, at the next stop sign, I make a right and it leads me back to Maryland. If I'm not mistaken. I'll know when I get up here in a second if it's right. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, this is it. This is the street I would normally come down. Whew. Temperature now 61 degrees. I've got about 14 miles on the car right now. Lately I've been only been putting on about 15 to 20 miles on my car every day. This is really the first, if I get one more offer, it's going to be the first day in a while that I've gotten 3 deliveries that met my criteria. So we'll see if I get one more. I only have about, I have about 40 minutes left in my schedule before I'm going to shut it off. So it's possible one more could come in and then that's going to be it. I mean, so far overall, the day has not been bad. I just would prefer to get the real simple, go to a restaurant, pick something up, and drop it off. It's the shopping that's wearing me thin. I'm starting to feel a little bit winded. All this cart pushing and picking up heavy things. $9, 10 miles. I try my best to make each day that I do this job so super simple that when I get home it's just like a relaxing cruise around the neighborhood. At least that's what I try to do. I try to make it for myself because I'm not like hungry for the money as much as I desire to just get away from the house for a while and cruise around the neighborhood and make some cash. $8, 6 miles. So I try to pick the easiest jobs I can think of that will pay me a fair rate for the miles put on my car. $10, 9 miles. So that's kind of the strategy. It's like, okay, give me something that's at least $8 so it's worth putting my shoes on, and then pay me so that it ends up being $1 for every mile at a minimum. So that way I'm making like if they pay me $8 and it's 4 miles, it's 4 miles to deliver and then 4 miles to drive back home. And that gives me $1 for every mile, no matter what. Like if I don't get anything and I end up just going back home. And that's kind of what I shoot for when I do this stuff. And so far it works. I usually end up averaging about $1.50, $1.60 for every mile. It's about what I tend to average out doing this all the time. Which to me is fair, considering I don't really drive the car anywhere else. I usually, when I use this car, it's really just to run errands in the neighborhood or make some money. So that's about it. I think every month I put on about 700 miles maybe a month. So I don't, let's see, $12. Oh, it's Costco. No thanks. No Costco. Yeah, I only have to have the car, give the car an oil change once a year, since I don't put on a lot of miles. So it's almost like I'm just driving this as just a regular person. The only different kind of expense I have that's unusual is I have to have a special type of add-on insurance to the car since I'm doing gig work. I can't remember how much extra it is. I think it's maybe no more than about $10 or $15 extra a month to have this extra add-on insurance to the car, so that if I get into an accident and it's my fault, $6 for it, I'm covered by my insurance. And I find it to be necessary because even if I'm not doing gig work, let's say I'm just running an errand and I get in an accident, the insurance company could still dispute it and say, "Oh, you checked the box here that you do gig work," because they ask you that when they do it. They'll say, are you on any of the gig apps like UberEats or DoorDash or Instacart? And they'll check you to see. I don't know how. I guess they check to see at least if you are a person that has signed up for it or whatever, or I don't know what they do. But the moment they find out that you're doing gig work, that's their out. That's where they'll try to deny your claim and say that you were doing gig work and you didn't have coverage during that time, and you need to contact Uber or DoorDash to get your money, because we're not responsible. And I think they do that by default anyway, because if you are on an assignment and you get in an accident, you have to submit a claim to the gig app, to Uber or DoorDash or whatever. And of course, it's a process where they don't want to pay either. So, but you got to go through the process. So, luckily, I've never gone through that process. Thank God. I don't think I've ever been in a car accident. The only time I was in a car accident was somebody else's fault. Somebody ran a red light and T-boned me. And luckily, they didn't hit my driver's side. They hit the front engine part, and they destroyed the engine of the car. Whew, that was a mess. All right, well, I'm getting close to home. Let's see what else happens next. Well, everybody, nothing else came in. I'm here at home. It is it's probably about 11:33, and nothing else good came in. There was one offer that came in. It was $35 for, I think it was like 15 or 17 miles. I had to go to 3 places if I wanted to take it. All of them were shopping. And the last one was to go to Vons and shop for 27 items. So I was not going to do that. So I declined that, and then the clock ran out. So that's just the way it goes. I put on a total of about 17 miles on the car. And today I only made $25.50. And my completion rating went from 100% down to 99%. So that was it. So yeah, all in all, it was a fine day, no problems. And I'm very glad that it is now done, and I can go have some fun with my dog. I'm going to take my little doggy for a walk, and then I'm going to have some lunch, and that's going to be about it. So let's just wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and click like. And I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. That helps me out a great deal. And yeah, that is about it. So you guys all enjoy your weekend or your week whenever you're watching this video. And I'll see you again on the next one. Okay? Take care. Bye for now.